Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen Botham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, Andrew Bartolotta.
Welcome to the cityCURRENT Show, where we bring you uplifting stories of individuals and organizations making a positive impact in our community and around the globe. I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta, and today we're diving into the life-saving innovation that's transforming communities and protecting lives worldwide. Our guest is Kurt Avery, the visionary founder of Sawyer, a company that's been leading the charge in water filtration and first aid solutions since 1984. Sawyer's cutting-edge technology, trusted by the EPA, UNICEF, and more than 140 charities, has delivered clean water to nearly 30 million people across more than 90 developing countries. What's more, 90% of their profits go right back into supporting these humanitarian efforts. And from outdoor adventurers to international relief workers, Sawyer's products have become essential tools for survival and well-being, and they're proudly manufactured in the United States. Get ready to explore how innovation, purpose, and generosity can change the world one filter, one drop, and one life at a time. Kurt, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for giving us a chance to tell our story.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's start off with what
Hmm.
inspired you to establish Sawyer Products in 1984, and how did your early experiences shape the company's mission?
Oh, they get me in trouble here. I had a pretty good career going with major companies that you would know. And then I just decided, this is so easy. I need to go do this myself. Just get out of the corporate rat race. And we had kids, young kids, and I wanted to be home for the kids. So we explored and we came up with a product called the Extractor, and it's still in the stores today, 40 years later. And it's a suction device that you can suck out bee stings, snake bites, things like that. So I went home one day and I said, Barb, that's my wife. I said, I think I'm going to quit the corporate world and sell snake bite kits. And she said, okay, you know, so she should have shot me right then, but she didn't. So we, um, we went to Europe, got the license, and so then it's still selling today. So I guess it was the right idea. But I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. I forgot to downsize and go to guerrilla marketing because I was so big, used to using big time marketing with big budgets. And so we kind of we stumbled along, and I like to say we lost money 23 of the first 25 years till we became an overnight success. So um, we we went on to, now we're in the camping departments, and so you go, what else do you need? What else do you need? And that got us into the repellents and the sunscreens and water filtration. So it's, one of the things in the book is, how do you grow your business? The best way is to keep selling more things to the same people. So we would sit in the stores for hours at a time and say, well, campers, what do you need? What do you need? Hikers, what are you missing? What can we do for you? And that's how we built the company, and, here we are 40 years later.
So let's talk about these products. I love that you understand the importance of guerrilla marketing, market research. It might have taken 2.5 decades, but from there, then you go, yes, this is what it is. I need to not only understand the importance of what the campers need and what my target audience wants, but then there's innovation in there too. So talk about moving into the water filtration space and how you are uniquely positioned with the the research and the innovation within water filtration.
We started in the repellents, and we were pretty good in the repellent business, and we would sit in the stores for 12 hours at a time just listening and thing, and obviously water became a huge problem. That, they were out there hiking and carrying these heavy ceramic filters and everything else. So that was what people really wanted solved. And we also went to a lot of medical conferences. We would teach people about repellents. So we heard all what the real needs were. Well, so we were on the search. I looked for many years as what we could add to the party and how we could help solve that problem for water. And we came across, I'll show you a picture of it. It won't matter, but there's a little kidney dialysis filter. And if you can clean blood, you ought to be able to clean water. So it's a little hollow fiber membrane. You run the water through it. There's teeny tiny holes. For us, the largest hole is 1 microns. Now your hair is 17 microns, so we're 170th times smaller than than the diameter of your hair. That's our largest hole.
Wow.
And the magic of that is because we're absolute. Other people now claim it, but they're not down that far. They may have some our size, but they'll have bigger ones. We guarantee no bigger ones. And the magic of that is no bacteria that's harmful to you is smaller than that. So when you run your water through it, you cannot get sick. There is no way. Now we're the only filter that can do that to make sure that you can't get sick. There's viruses, but they're really not in the water, and they have ways of getting out anyway. So it's really not an issue. It's a marketing issue, but it's not a science issue. So then we're on this thing. So now we go back to the marketplace, and at that time there were about 70,000 filters per year sold of either paper matrix, ceramic, or one of those other things. We went to the market and we said, okay, you're selling these things for $80 to $100. We're going to give you a filter and we're going to sell it to you for $19.95. They go, no way. They said, why would I switch to a product I can make $10 on? This is like REIs and all those companies. Why would I sell you something I can make $10 on when I can right now sell one to make 40? I said, well, because you're going to collect a whole lot more $10 bills. So very quickly, it just took over the whole industry. Hollow fiber membranes is really the only thing anybody uses anymore. It went from 70,000 units to well over 1 million units a year. So and it was the right science. So now we have this thing and we're sitting there going, you know, half the world dies of mosquito bites or bad water. And we happen to have the best mosquito repellents and we happen to have the best water filter. How do you not go solve that problem? So I said, I have a big God. So I said, all right, God, let's go solve it. Obviously meaning him, not me. So here we are many years later, and we are the filter that's used overseas, 140 charities, 80, 90 countries. We're in the toughest places in the world. When we go into a village, within 2 weeks, nobody's sick anymore. I mean, it just wipes it right out. All the waterborne diseases, which they're closing medical clinics in slums because there's no customers.
Wow.
So how do you not do that? So 2 to 5 million people a year get clean water for the very first time. I mean, when you talk about life changing, I mean, hundreds of thousands of babies live every year because of this and they don't get diarrhea and die. How do you not do that? We were in a village in Uganda where they wouldn't name the babies till they're 3 years old. Because why? Well, because if they make it to 3, we're pretty sure they'll live, but they lose a third of them before they get there. We go back in, put the filters in, go back in again. They name them all at birth. Never lost a kid since the filter showed up. So how do you not do that? You got to do it. No, and you can't take it with you. We're profitable and I don't need the money. I'm not a fashion statement, so I don't spend money on clothes, new truck every 4 years and run that to the ground. But no U-Hauls in heaven. So let's just go do it. So we do it. And we did the first put us on the map was the earthquake in Haiti. We went down there and a couple 100,000 filters went down there. I mean, they needed it. We even put a factory in down there to assemble these things. And at the end of it, there were 20 companies that were selling water products to Haiti. And the Minister of Health went around the room and asked every one of them, well, okay, which one do you personally use? Every one of them, no matter what they sold, personally used Sawyer. So that kind of put us on the map. And since then, we're pretty much all the NGOs use because it works. And we make it very, so we're down now with our latest product that you attach to a faucet. We can, for a one-time cost of 10 cents, give a person 10 years of clean water for a one-time investment of 10 cents. The worst case, if you have to use you don't have faucet, use one of our bucket systems, it's still $1. You can get 10 years of clean water per person for $1 a piece. How do you not do that? So we've been perfecting it. We got some people getting ready to help us jump to the next level, but we had to do other things. We had to prove that it worked, did a lot of research. That's how we can donate a lot of money and a lot of cash and filters through research and promotion. We now have QR codes on the filter, so you can hit it with your smartphone and go to instructions and videos. I mean, so we have data collection, so we can measure all these things, because everybody wants to know, is their investment good? You're investing big bucks, you want an ROI on that, business people. So we can give it to them. We now have WhatsApp coming in place in about a week. So you give us your phone number, we'll say, did you remember to clean it today? Are you having any problems? Contact us. No, nobody can do all that. Even if they had a filter as good as ours, which they don't, we still have the best filter out there. Nobody's matched us in 20 years. You need all those other pieces, because you don't just have to give them good water, you have to change behavior. If you don't change behavior, you've just helped some people, but not everybody. So it's water, food, and medicine. And we do water. The other two, we actually reduce the amount of medicines people need, and we actually help them do more efficient on the food, because they lose up to a third of their nutrients to parasites. Well, we wipe out the parasites. So we're kind of affecting all three ways in which you change the world. So we're having a little bit of fun here.
That is amazing. And I know you talked about how your faith plays a significant role in your business decisions, your personal life, I can assume as well. But how does it feel that, I don't know how to say this in a way without saying that I feel like, God has entrusted you to use this gift, this passion to save millions of lives, you and your team. What does that feel like to you and the team at Sawyer to be able to
Yeah,
do that?
it's very humbling, to be honest with you. I mean, we think in the next 5, 6 years, we're going to be like a cell phone. Everybody has one. We've made it so easy now. Now we got the last pieces in place. We're also the greenest product on the planet, because we save, each filter can save up to 200 trees a year, or fossil equivalent fossil fuels, by not boiling your water to drink. So we're knocking off a lot of the buttons, but it's humbling beyond anything you can imagine. Okay. Got a big God, but still he picked us to do this. This is a big game changer.
Mhm.
And it's taken us this long. Of course, then part of me wants to go faster, but no, got to wait till all the pieces are in place. But it's also a heavy responsibility. I mean, we have it. It's like, what if you had the cure to a bad disease, and it's up to you to do it? It's not up to me. I have an unbelievable team, and we have a lot of support. Obviously, 140 charities are awesome too, but we're about to go to the next level. We got some financing. Now that we have all the pieces in place,
Mhm.
we think it'll jump. When we just got those last pieces in place within the last year. So now that we have the ROI, I think we'll be attracting some pretty big investors, and got a few knocking on the door now. They wanted that ROI, so we got it. And you got to change behavior, so we can prove to you that we're going to change the behavior, because we've done it all over the world.
And
So it's a big response. Trust me, it weighs heavy on you at the same time.
I could imagine too. But then again, seeing the lives saved and changed because of these tools that you and your team have created, like you said, such a humbling experience that you are
Yeah.
part of God's plan in that. And so you've authored Sawyer Think, which is discussing how small companies can disrupt markets and affect change. What are some of the key takeaways you hope readers gain from your book? Let's tout your book some, because obviously you have so many lessons learned that are applicable in different industries.
Yeah, the book has about 25 analytics in it, mostly marketing, but not all just marketing. We knock off the big ones real quick. Everybody can go and go to get an MBA, or go to, Google, and learn life cycles and all that. I mean, a key one is creative destruction. It's not taught quick enough, but if you want to be a visionary, learn creative destruction. But all the other 20 or so, some of them are just things I've invented, and some of them are things that I've adapted. And the key is to be able to make a decision quicker, but more accurately. And so I use the example, if you're familiar with the sriracha hot sauce.
Mhm.
The guy one time owned the entire market. He invented it, but he made 5 mistakes and he lost it. He's now just another one of the players. If he had read the book, all 5 mistakes that he made, which cost him his lead position, were outlined in the book. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. If he had read the book, he would still be the king, but he didn't, and he made 5 mistakes, so the goal here is to help you make your business more profitable. There's a lot of little tidbits in here, and particularly analytics that'll help you avoid things. Being able to see, people call it unintended consequences. No, it's only unintended consequence if you haven't thought it through. What might happen if you this does this, does this? How are the dominoes going to fall? So if you're ahead of the game, they're not unintended consequences. You plan for them and you make opportunities out of them. So a lot of that's in there, taking some of the emotions out of the decisions. So we want your business to be more successful. It's more successful. You can join us in changing the world. Restaurants can give away food and plumbers can give away services. I mean, we do the model. We do local, it's the biblical model, Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the othermost parts of the world. So we work in all four of those areas. So we are serving the local communities. We work in the United States. You had Nashville, you had your huge flooding. We were all over that thing. We had 100,000 filters went to the Carolinas and Tennessee for Hurricane Helene. We were up there before people were flying them in, and hikers were hiking them to where cars couldn't go. The next day, and 2 days later, we do Indian reservations where water is an issue. And even if they bring water in, it still gets contaminated with bacteria, and we take that out. So we're everywhere. I mean, we're in North Korea, and we're in Yemen. We were in Gaza long before the water showed up. I mean, we're everywhere because everybody has to have water.
Mhm.
Any natural disaster, we're there. We're there day two. We often go in ahead of time. I mean, if you remember all the bottled waters that went to bad on the tarmacs of Puerto Rico, how hard it was. Well, they didn't need them. By the time they got there, half the place was drinking out of our filters. I mean, one filter can do 100, 200 people. I mean, you can go in with a duffel bag and do 20,000 people. So, and now with a duffel bag, you can do 200,000 people with our newest technology. So
How can the normal everyday person that's listening, watching, how can they support Sawyer? Is it through the 140 or so charities? Is it through purchasing filtration systems on their own? Talk about how we can get involved because
well, of course, using products from Sawyer, all our profits are donated, but we have what's called the Sawyer Foundation. And eventually we're set up like the Hersey Foundation. When I exit the market, that's how marketers say when either I mentally or physically leave my abilities to run it. I do have to get cognitively tested to make sure I can still run it. I don't want to screw this thing all up by going wacko. The Sawyer Foundation, you can donate to that. 100% of any outside donations go to charity over water projects overseas. All the admin is covered by Sawyer, and Sawyer covers the admin and donates cash to projects too. So, or we certainly, any of our 140 charities will be happy to donate. So there's a lot of places to do. We can lead you to that. But we're also saying that's the water side of it. I mean, we want other businesses to join us and by being more profitable, they can do local stuff and whatever that everybody has something. I like it if we sold cupcakes, we'd have to make the cupcakes, pay the taxes, and then what's left over we could give away. But because we have the very thing that everybody needs, I don't have to make a profit. I try very hard not to make a profit. How many people do that? I don't need the money. We're fine. So I find the book will show you ways in which you can burn your free cash off before it becomes a profit. I mean, I would rather give the money away than have the government give it away. I think I got better priorities.
yes,
So all legal. I won't do anything illegal. Give to Caesar what is Caesar. So we won't do anything illegal, but there's many ways that you can use your charity and not have to pay the taxes so that you're controlling who gets the benefits of your hard work.
I love that. The model is so applicable to so many different to every industry. And so,
Every-
you know, I think the book Sawyer Think is definitely a must read. I can't wait to read it myself and apply it to the work that we're doing. So, the outdoor and humanitarian sectors have evolved over the years, and so has Sawyer. So, how has Sawyer adapted to these changes while staying true to its core mission?
We solve problems. I mean, the whole thing is, what can we do for you? So that, and actually there's a chapter in the book about that, is that's what you're all about. That's your core essence. So we try to anticipate things that are coming, but no, we just got big ears. And I got really good people with big ears. So we're out there listening. What else do you need? How can we change it? We have changed this industry so dramatically in many, many ways, and not just the insect repellents, but in the water filtration. And obviously Amazon came along. So I'm big on channels of distribution and how they've changed. You got to be ahead of it. I mean, we were nothing on Amazon until we took over and focused on it. We do a lot of social media. Now we're number 1 and number 2. Like this month, we'll be their top insect repellents and water filters. I mean, um, and now people are going to TikToks. One thing we do is we market to the generations. You've got, there were the millennials, then the Gen Zs, and then now you got the alphas coming. And actually, in our market, the boomers are getting back in because everything's free now. Now they're going out hiking and doing all the kind of stuff. So we literally change all of our marketing efforts and communication things to be generational specific. We study each generation, how they think differently, and we've changed. We were the first ones in our neck of the woods at Amazon to switch our home pages from monitors to tablets and phones, because in 2 years, Amazon switched from 70% on a monitor to 70% on a portable.
Mhm.
We were the first ones to change our website to be ready for portables. So you got to anticipate this stuff. So we're all over it. We break it down, and we got a lot of stuff right now in the works to get ready for the alphas.
Nice. I can imagine things like technology are a huge part in driving just not only the work that you're doing, but the way that you present it, including artificial intelligence and using that for data integration to even make your products even better, which I don't even know how you can do that at this point because they're already so great.
Trying to explain this to the engineer on a project right now. Having the best product is only the first step. So, like for instance, when we want to change behavior, do people know how to use the product? How are you going to teach them? And so, just think we are just now moving into the QR code, the phones, and the WhatsApp. So now, if we passed out 10 million of these, which someday that'll happen, not now, but we got to be able to make sure they're using it properly.
True.
So that's where the WhatsApp comes in. I mean, we now have the ability to if you want to get on our WhatsApp and you give us a phone number, we can send a message to you before you even ask the questions to see if you're doing okay. So we can change behavior on a mass scale, because right now the 140 charities are a lot of hands-on.
Mhm.
Charities want to be hands-on. That's why they're in the charity business. They want to be with the people and all that kind of stuff, whether it's food, medicine, or water. But when you go to the next level, how do you change behavior if you can't physically talk to that person? And that's where we're moving ahead in the technology world to do things nobody's ever thought of before.
I love that because you were talking about being problem solvers, and my life motto is we'll be known by the problems we solve. And at some point, I'm sure I'm gonna have it tattooed on myself because I say it's, but it is so true. And you are think of it like you said, yes, you have a great product, nearly perfect, but if people don't know how to use it, changing the behavior is where you go from a product that may save your life, but you don't know how to use it to it's not going to save your life if you don't know how to use it and
Right.
how to, so that's just fascinating. So as we begin to wrap up, you're creating your legacy every day still. What legacy do you hope to leave, and what is your vision for the company's future decades and decades from now?
Well, that's part of the book. The book is the operating manual for Sawyer. So I kind of wrote it because I do internally always, and I had interns, I would always teach what I call grasshopper you. You have much to learn, grasshopper.
I love that.
That is the essence of the book. Those are my lessons that, 25 lessons would do, one a day or one every other day with case studies. So that is the operating manual for Sawyer. So now we want to share that with everybody else. I don't care about if you're my legacy, I did what God wanted me to do. That's why I was here. Life is a binary choice. It goes on for a long time. This is a short time. And I was given a lot of gifts, but I used them the way he empowered us to use them. That's all that mattered. Because the rest of it, I'm gone. So what? Who cares? It's just, you can just read the book and you guys can do the same thing. You change the business, change the world.
Talk about where people can purchase your book, talk about where they can purchase Sawyer products, and follow you in your efforts as you continue to save lives across the world.
Okay. The products are wherever camping is sold, pretty much. Obviously, very big on Amazon. We're huge on Amazon because the world changed. We're all into Amazon now. We changed with it, and we're there. The book is on Amazon, ebook and things, or you come, if you buy it at Sawyer.com, you'll get a signed copy. I'm signing every copy that goes out. Same price. We're not, again, all proceeds go to the foundation. At Sawyer.com, we're constantly updating it with stories from around the world. We're going to make you cry. You see some of these stories that we get back, and they're going to choke you up. Just how much we change the world, and the way people treat this thing. I mean, it's a valuable value. Oh, we save them 20% of their annual income. Can you imagine all of a sudden having 20% more income and you don't have money to begin with? It's huge. And we're measuring, what are they going to do with that? What are they going to do with that time? What are they going to do with that money? And it's pretty amazing. They start businesses, they do all kinds of stuff. So we're not just changing their health. We're changing the whole way they live.
It has been a true honor and privilege to spend time with you and learn more about the world-changing work that Sawyer is doing. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast, a nonprofit leader, or simply someone who believes in using business to power the good, today's conversation really reminds us all that impact starts with innovation and grows through compassion. Kurt Avery, thank you so much for coming on the show. And for those who want to learn more about Sawyer's mission and how you can support their efforts, definitely visit Sawyer.com.